Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another ink blending combos video. Today's color is Kitsch Flamingo. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be changing my surface that I work on as I do my blends today. Over the weekend, right as Tim was announcing the brand new Media Grip Matte, I received a package in the mail from Heidi Simon Says Stamp, and I opened it up. And sure enough, it was the Media Grip Matte. Now, I'm so glad that's exactly what she sent because I watched Tim's demonstration on his YouTube channel. He was live on Saturday and announced this new product. And one of the examples of how to use this Media Grip Matte that he showed that really intrigued me was when he showed how you could cut it down for use with commonly used sizes in your crafting. And I'll describe a little bit more about what this is if some of you are unfamiliar. But I wanted to show that I cut it down to be just slightly smaller than my cardstock that I use for all of these ink blending samples. And you know what? I used it for these last two colors until we're caught up with all the new colors. And I am in love with it, specifically for ink blending. And I'll talk to you about why I love it and maybe some of the pitfalls, some things that are a little different. One thing that's nice about it is you can cut it down with just scissors or a knife, or even in your trimmer or something like that. So I cut it down to be smaller than my cardstock here. And this is actually just half of an A2 card front. So it is, let's see, 4¼ wide by 2¾ tall. So we're getting into the blending now. So this is Kitsch Flamingo. It's a very nice pink. It's kind of like the perfect kind of cool toned pink. It's like Sponge Sugar is a beautiful pink, but it's a little bit too pale. This kind of hits that middle mark between like picked raspberry and Sponge Sugar. We really needed like an in-between color there, and Worn Lipstick is almost a little too red. We really needed a pink, and this is perfect. So this first combo, I'm using Kitsch Flamingo, Carved Pumpkin, and Squeezed Lemonade. So the first thing I noticed when I was using the new Grip Media Matte underneath my blending, it happened right here as I start to bring in the Squeezed Lemonade. This corner folded up. And it's because the foam tends to catch the corners of your cardstock more when you have that media matte underneath, because it's just barely, minutely lifting that cardstock off the surface of the glass mat. And it's just enough of a gap there for the foam to really grab it. So after that happened this first time around, I was very conscious of it and tried to not do that in the future. And it worked out well for the rest of the blends. The other thing that I did differently with this was I kept my cardstock in the same spot the entire time. And so I did have to kind of maneuver around and move my fingers from side to side to make sure I could get every single area. But you know what? It blended so much faster and it was easier cleanup. I didn't even mind that I was blending on a dark surface. Sometimes I like to see, have a lighter colored surface so I can see the colors blending on. But I didn't even mind it because with Distress Oxide inks, because they are more opaque, I can see it on my black glass mat. And I did want to mention the mat today as well. This mat that I'm using and that I have in all my videos is from Glassboard Studio. I absolutely love this mat. It is magnetic. You have the choice to have it be magnetic or not. I chose to have mine magnetic. And I really, really love to use it, but it really functions very similarly to the Tim Holtz glass media mat, and that you have a glass surface, there's a black grid area. The main difference and why I choose to use this one over Tim's is that this one is larger. And so for filming and zooming in and out, I don't have to worry about any sizing constraints. That's one of the main reasons why I'm using this one as opposed to Tim's. But this one really functions a lot in the same way. Now, if you are a person who's constantly switching between a black mat and maybe a white mat, so you can kind of see your inks like what I mentioned earlier, you might enjoy Tim's mat more because it has kind of like a square area that is all black, and then it has an area that is white where you can put that replacement mat that I usually do these blending videos on. You might enjoy that. Also, if you're not filming, you don't have any of those size constraints. So it might be easier for that as well. Anyway, I've just been talking on and on about different services and things like that. Meanwhile, a whole combo just flew right by, which I really loved. I love that Seedless Preserves with Mermaid Lagoon. But this blend right here, I think was the surprise of this color blending experiment. I loved Tumbled Glass and Kitsch Flamingo together. It really surprised me. I knew they probably would blend well together, but those two colors create this most perfect lavender shade, and it's just beautiful. I loved adding on Evergreen Bough and getting this like kind of pale muted palette going across these colors. It worked out so well, and I just love how it blended. Now, I did want to note that I am using Juicy Distress Oxide ink pads. These were all recently re-inked, including that Kitsch Flamingo. So that's how I'm getting really strong colors right from the get-go. All right, we're moving on to the very last combo for this video. And these two colors that I'm using in addition to Kitsch Flamingo, you can definitely tell that I re-inked these like recently. Look how much ink just goes right down on this. It's so strong. It's almost like painting with lipstick. And these colors that I'm using, for some reason, it really did remind me of lipstick. This kind of corally shade, which is abandoned coral. And then moving on to Aged Mahogany. Wouldn't that be a really beautiful lipstick shade? Anyway, these colors blended beautifully. I had no doubt that they would, because Aged Mahogany is one of those dark reds that really blends well with every red I've ever used it with. So this abandoned coral worked beautifully, and then that bright coral shade going into the cooler toned Kitsch Flamingo. It's just beautiful. So all in all, I really liked all these blends. Kitsch Flamingo really surprised me. I didn't realize how much I would love it, but I love the bright, colorful shades that I got with all the Kitsch Flamingo ink blending combos. So I really loved them. So for this very last blend, I'm going to wrap it up here and show you what it looks like. I really enjoyed the addition of the media grip mat for all of this blending, and I think I probably will cut down more of that for my most common sizes, which are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and 5 by 7, and then I can save the rest of it for something else. So just a reminder that if you use these combos, please share them on social media and use that Christina's Oxide Combos hashtag. I love to see what you guys are creating with all of these different combinations. And even, you don't have to use oxides. You could use the original Distress ink colors, or, translate these colors into other brands of ink. Go for it. Be creative. Have fun. These are all really fun blends. Thanks so much for joining me today. Make sure you come back tomorrow for my weekly live stream at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, just right here at my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.